Hi everybody and welcome back to Relax My Dog. And now today's video is perfect for if you are about to get a dog or you are wanting to look after somebody else's dog, as we're going to be talking about how to look after a dog as a whole. There are a lot of things to take into account when wanting to look after a dog, so make sure you stay tuned. Before we do get started though, let me know down below what is your first top tip when wanting to either get a dog or to look after a dog. What would you say to another person when they have a new dog in the house? So the first thing to consider is how puppy proof is your house. As we know, if you do have a dog, dogs can get into pretty much anything, and so you need to make sure that everything that a dog needs to stay away from is put away and that basically your house is puppy proof. If there are certain things that you have in your house that can be quite dangerous to dogs or that dogs can easily knock over, try and secure these or pop them in a room and then lock the room so that they're just sort of put away for the time being. For example, if the dog were to play with the toy and the toy were to go underneath the sofa, if they're able to go under the sofa and lift it up, that can cause quite a lot of damage, so just be aware of this. Now the second top tip is to make sure you have a certain routine with the dog. Make sure you have a routine for them to have their dinner, have some drink, have a toilet break, go for a walk. Dogs love a certain routine, so try and stick with this throughout the time you have the dog. Now the third thing to think about is where is your dog going to live, or where is the dog going to live? Obviously some people might not want the dog to have full range of the house, and for example if you wanted to keep the dog downstairs, make sure you put their bed somewhere where they have easy access to any room that they're allowed in, just to make them feel a little bit more comfortable. Now the fourth thing to think about is any certain emergency situations. Make sure you have written down or you know their local vets and any 24-hour veterinary clinics as well, just to make sure that if anything happens during the night or out of hours that you have somewhere to go with the dog. Obviously whilst you are looking after the dog, you are the dog's main responsibility. Now the next thing to think about is the food that you have in your house. There are a number of different food items that dogs aren't allowed, so if you are looking after a dog, make sure you have certain foods that are not allowed high up in a shelf, or that you just don't decide to eat them, because like I say, dogs can get into pretty much anything, so try and keep these things well away from the dog. And the very last thing, and probably the number one tip, is to just speak and gain as much information as you can from the dog's owner. You want to make sure you understand the dog as a whole. If you can, try and meet up with the owner a few times a week before you have the full sort of custody of the dog, just to make sure that you know their routine, you know what sort of things they like to do. If they're a dog that likes to run off, you then know that they need to be kept on the lead, and just little things like that, just to get a little bit more accustomed with the dog, as well for the dog's sake as well, so the dog recognises you as a friend and not some complete stranger. And that is it for this week's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to follow us on our social medias. We are on Instagram, Facebook and also Twitter. All of them are at Relax My Dog, so really easy to find. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel by clicking the button in the middle here, and also don't forget to check out our previous video, which is all the way on the other side of the screen, if you would like to learn more and more about your dog. Thank you all so much for watching, and me and Miley here will see you next week for next week's video. Bye.